Hello, people of YouTube, the one formerly known as Young Gentleman, now Strangely Musical. Here to give a quick little album review for the newest N9ne album, Strangeulation. For those that do not know N9ne, he is an independent rapper born in Kansas City, Missouri, and is the co-founder of independent hip-hop label Strange Music, which is home to many phenomenal artists such as Ritz, Cess Crew, Chris Calico, Brother Lynch Hung, among many others. Strangeulation is N9ne's 14th album to be released and 5th in a series of collaboration albums that began with the 2007 release Misery Loves Company. Now, what makes Strangeulation a very special album is that Tech only chose to work with, outside of a couple choruses on some of the songs, only artists that were featured on his Strange Music roster. So outside of about 3 people that did some of the choruses, every artist you see on the album has been signed with N9ne for at least a good year, except for the newest signee at the time, who was also present on the album, Merce. So is it a good album? Well, short story, freaking yes. Throughout the album, it has 4 Strangeulation songs, which make up a Strange Music cipher, which was highly anticipated upon the album's release. Every member of the Strange Music roster takes a turn on the cipher beat and spits a nice 16-bar verse, with the exception of N9ne, who opens the album with a 32-bar verse. And everyone brings their A game to the Strange Music cipher. People like to criticize Brother Lynch Hung's verse on the cipher, but I feel he had one of the better ones. Least favorite cipher verse would go to Big Scoob, with Recognize having my favorite verse on the cipher. And outside of the cipher, there's very, very nice and meaningful songs on the album. You have the song Stink, featuring Chris Calico, Stevie Stone, and Kendall Morgan, which, if you've heard the song N9ne, also by N9ne, Fragile, that's been going around, you kind of already know who Kendall Morgan is. And Stink is basically a song about how the artists on the track have basically never been good enough for the mainstream, well, maybe not just the mainstream music, but throughout their lives, they've just never been good enough to get any kind of attention. But now to quote Kendall Morgan in the chorus, now they don't stink. Like, now you guys want to check them out and see what they're all about. Other standouts on the album are Great Night with Strange Music signees Cess Crew, who were taken outside of their comfort zone kind of for this track, because if you've heard Cess Crew's past kind of work, you've never really heard them on this kind of beat that Great Night has. It's like that club type of track, but what's brilliant about it is that the track has the club type beat to it, but it doesn't have like the club type lyrics that you'd get from like a mainstream version of this song. Cess Crew and Tech don't compromise the lyrics or the wordplay at all. It's still just all Strange Music. And yeah, the first time listen to chorus may get on your nerves, but after a couple listens, you're going to be chanting that chorus along every time the song comes on. The song Fear with the daughter of Tech's fellow Strange Music co-founder Travis O'Gwen, Mackenzie O'Gwen, is another standout from the track. This is another standout from the album. The song basically talks about the fears that Tech has in his life, between the illness that his recently passed mother was dealing with for the majority of his life, and this like recurring dream of him falling is discussed in the song. And he's discussing like his fear of like this guy he's praying to for his mom isn't real, and like she's like the fear that she wouldn't get better. And the thing that is amazing about the track is you can picture what Tech is talking about in the song, and definitely most people that hear it, you can definitely relate to the song, because we all have those kind of moments where we fear something, and self-explanatory. And what's great about all the artists on the album is there's never a moment where you want to skip anything on the album. There's never a dull moment. Yeah, there's maybe one or two like kind of songs, but still they're not skip worthy on the album. Like nothing is like that bad where you feel the need to immediately go hit the dang skip button because it's freaking horrible. Other standouts on the album are Make Waves with Chris Calico, Ritz, and Tyler Lyon of the band Evelyn Awake. Hope I got that right. Tech has always been known for mixing hip-hop and rock for most of his albums for a couple tracks, and this is definitely one of the best hip-hop and rock tracks that he's done in his career. And most people from Tech most people that have heard of Tech a couple times know the song Worldwide Choppers. Consider this an unofficial Chopper song, because that double time flow that those guys are known for, it's all over the track, and it's just fast paced. And props to any of you that can actually rap all three verses of that song, because I've tried and failed multiple times. Least favorite songs on here would have to be Which One with Merce and Godimus of Cess Crew. It's not that the verses on the song are bad per se, it's just that the chorus kind of kills the song a little bit. The chorus just kind of kills it a little bit, and the beat is not one of the best ones to come out of the album, especially since it's following the Strange Music Cypher beat, which to me is just is a phenomenal beat. But overall, it's a very, very, very cohesive album, which you don't get a lot of in hip-hop these days. Very deep, very meaningful, and for those of y'all that keep saying he went mainstream and can't rap like he used to, the hard-hitting lyrics will definitely make you change your attitude. And the main pro of the album is that it just showcases the entire roster's talent. Like, everybody gets at least one chance to shine on the album, which the album could have used a bit more of. One of my favorite Strange Music artists, Brother Lynch Hung, and maybe a tad bit more Prozac, even though I'm not that huge a fan of him. But it's overall a good album. Now, bear in mind, if this is your entry point to the world of Strange Music, the album may seem to drag on a little bit for y'all, because y'all won't be accustomed to the long album times that Tech is known for. And plus, if this is also your first Strange Music album that you're hearing, it's probably not going to have that much of an impact on you, but even though it really should, because you're thinking, wow, this is the first time I've heard this guy, what is he taking over? But definitely if you're a fan of Strange Music, go grab yourself a copy. And even if you're not a fan of Strange Music, still give it a listen, because I guarantee you will be a fan before the album ends. I've played this for two friends that hadn't even heard of Strange Music prior to this album, and both now keep it on repeat, and along with me checking out and anticipating the rest of Strange Music's releases for the year. Overall rating for the album, I would say definitely a 9 out of 10. Definitely one of the best hip-hop albums I've heard this year. And I'm going to leave it at that. So, let me know how you think about the album in the comments section. Like, subscribe, and if there's any album that you guys want me to review or give a listen to, leave it in the comments, and I'll definitely get to it as soon as I can. But until then, strangely musical, and I thank you guys for listening. You have a good night.